So good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Wednesday evening online meditation. We'll start proper in about 5 minutes or so. But for anybody that's just joined, we'll just begin with a song, a Sri Ganesha song, and it's Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh, which is Hindi one. And if you want to, you can bow down and raise your kundalini, but we will ask you in about 5 minutes or so for anybody that joins at that point again to do that. So Hindi one, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh. Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh Deva. Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh Deva. Devi Parvati Pita Mahadeva. Mata Devi Parvati Pita Mahadeva. Ganapati Deva. Ganapati Deva. Ganapati Vanjirao, Fujirao, Vanjirao, Deva, Naduoka, Bokalaki, Satyari Seva, Naduoka, Bokalaki, Satyari Seva, Ganapati Deva, Ganapati Deva, Ganapati Deva, Jai 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 Ganesh Deva, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh Deva. Ek dant daya band char tujadari, Ek dant daya band char tujadari, Mastak Sindhu Shri Ki Savari, Mastak Sindhu Shri Ki Savari, Ganapati Deva, Ganapati Deva, Ganapati Deva, Ganapati Deva, Jai 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 Ganesh, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh, Jai Ganesh, Mata Devi Parvati Pita Mahadeva, Mata Devi Parvati Pita Good evening and a warm welcome to anyone that's just joined us. We can all collectively, if you've just joined us, you can now is an opportunity to bow down to your altars or to Shamaji, as you can see on the altar, our altar. Raise your Kundalini and put on a bandhan. So we'll begin with an evening collective meditation, which will consist of some mantras and also some songs as well. And then we'll move on to a talk which we've played. It's about 20 minutes in length. And then just after the talk, we'd like to offer a song to Sri Shiva. We may offer one during the meditation as well, given that this weekend it's Shivaratri, and that'll take us probably up to about 9 o'clock. So we can begin by putting both hands to the Mother Earth, and we can say the mantra to Shri Adi Bhumide. Om Tvayeva Sakshat Shri Adi Bhumide Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirvana Namo Namaha. And with our attention on Sri Ganesha and our attention on the Muladhara chakra, we can say Sri Ganesha's mantra 4 times. Om Tvayeva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirvana Devi Namo Namaha. Om Tvayeva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirvana Devi Namo Namaha. Om Tvayeva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Om Ganeva Sakshat Shri Ganesha Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. So we can sing Marathi 15. Marathi 15, it's Boda, and it begins with, it says, first take the name of Lord Ganesha, secondly the name of Sri Adi Shakti, thirdly let us pray Sahaja Yoga, and then it says, now let's sing the Boda. It's a very joyful song. Marathi 15. Pahile namo namo Ganaraya, Pahile namo namo Ganaraya, Tusi namana Adi Shaktina, Tusi namana Adi Shaktina, Tusi namana Sasa Yogala, Tusi namana Sasa Yogala, Kawatana Koya, Kawatana Koya. Egoiste places alana, egoiste places alana, Madhya Prandi Chinda Varyana, Madhya Prandi Chinda Varyana, Maridu Paripara Vasena, Adi Shakti Sanvasana, Adi Shakti Sanvasana, Adi Shakti So for the left side, you can place the right hand on the ground, left hand on lap. You can say the mantra to Shri Mahakala. Om Vame Saksha Shri Mahakali Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Attention on the right side. Shri Nirmala Chitta Sakshat Shri Maha Saraswati. Om Vame Sakshat Shri Nirmala Chitta Sakshat Shri Maha Saraswati Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. name is Shulanani, Shri Gauri Kundalini Mata, Sakshat Shri Mahalakshmi. Om Swami Sakshat Shri Gauri Kundalini Mata, Sakshat Shri Shakti Mataji, Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. And in the Nadi chakra, we can sing Peace in My Love. Peace in my Nadi, peace in the world. Peace in my Nadi and the universe. We will shine the beauty of our mother. Peace in my Nadi, peace in the world. Peace in my Nadi and the universe. We will shine the beauty of our mother. Peace in my Nadi, peace in the world. Attention in the left hand, Shri Shiva. Om Swami Sakshat Shri Shiva Parvati Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Namo Namaha. Praise of Shri Shiva. We can sing Shankar Bole Bani, which is Hindi 78. Give us all. ललाट पे चंद्रमा 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 ललाट पे चंद्रमा चरी गले में सर्वहार है शरीर भस्म गले गले में सर्वहार है नवा रहे श्री सर तुम्हारी भक्ति में है कोर्य सूर्य का प्रकाश शिव तुम्हारी शक्ति में शिव तुम्हारी शक्ति में शिव तुम्हारी शक्ति Leela Bihari Tripurari Teri Leela Prabhu Sabse Nyari Om Shankar Bole Leela Bihari Tripurari Teri Leela Prabhu Sabse Nyari Om Shankar Bole Samdevo me Mahadevu Samdevo me Mahadevu Sagoya Bhakti Bhakti Sab Karte Bhagavan Teri Puja Bhagavan Teri Puja Shivji Deva Dole Shivji Deva Dole Varida Pulava Teri Jari Vesati Varida Shankar Jaya Bihari Tripurari Leela Prabhu Sabse Nyari Om Shankar Sagar Madhya Sabi Devata Amrit Parla Chai Sagar Madhya Sabi Devata Amrit Parla Chai Tum Abhyankar Vishko Bhikar Neela Karge Lai Tum Abhyankar Vishko Bhikar Neela Karge Lai Oh Neela Karge Lai Oh Neela Karge Lai Jo bhi aaya Shambhu Jo bhi aaya Shambhu Jai Bihari Bihari Uski naiya tumne paar Bihari Oh Shankar Bole Bhari Jaya Bihari Tripurari Leela Prabhu Sabse Nyari Oh Shankar Bole Shiv Shankar Jamavilela Shiv Shankar Jamavilela Dam 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 Shiv Shankar He Pranayanta Shiv Shankar Jamavilela Shiv Shankar Jamavilela Dam 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 Sangeeta Supateta Sang Sang Tere Nache Sang Sang Tere Nache Kiss Devi Tera Kiss Devi Tera Paya Kesi Mani Chupata Nandi Kisavai Om Shankar Bole Bhari Jaya Bihari Tripurari Leela Prabhu Sabse Nyari Om Shankar Bole Bhari Jaya Bihari Tripurari Leela Prabhu Sabse Nyari Leela Prabhu Sabse Nyari Leela Prabhu Sabse Nyari the attention the Agya chakra. Just place the right hand across the forehead. And we can say the Lord's Prayer. Our
Our
Father,
Father,
who
who art
art
in
in
heaven,
heaven,
hallowed be
hallowed be
thy
thy
name.
name.
Thy kingdom come,
Thy will be done,
on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses,
as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Our attention in the Sahasrara chakra. Say the mantra to Sri Sadashiv. Om Vairava Sakshat Shri Sadashiva Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Devye Namo. So we'll move on to Shmakti's talk. I'll let you to introduce the talk.
So the talk is from 1976. It's probably an excerpt. It doesn't seem to be complete, but it's on importance of tongue. So we'll just share that. Yeah, just bear with us.
I was telling you about how difficult it is to be a mother and a guru, because both are very contradictory functions, and especially for a person who wants to be in charge of your salvation, to be the Mokshadayini, it is extremely difficult, because the path is so delicate and so treacherous that all of you have to come yourself, walk across. And if you fall this side or that side, there is disaster for you. I am watching your climbing and I see you coming up with a mother's heart and a guru's hand. And then I get the glimpses of people falling. I try to tell them, come up. Sometimes I shout. Sometimes I pull them up. Sometimes I love them, caress them. You can yourself judge within yourself how much I've worked on you, how much I've loved. But how much do you love yourself is the point. I've told you that for a Sahaja Yogi, the whole thing should be decided by the witnessing power. Now the witnessing power is silent, it doesn't talk. If you are a very talkative person, then it's not going to help you much. You have to come in balance. For the first time in this incarnation, I have started talking, and I get throat trouble because I'm not used to this kind of talking. So for you people, it is necessary that you should not talk unless and until you feel like talking. And very few sentences, conclusive. As I told you before, the tongue is the master of all the organs of distraction. If you could master your tongue, you have mastered all of them in a way. Because everything has to be palatable. For example, you look at a woman. If she is not palatable, then she may be beautiful, but you don't want to look at her. She decides, the tongue decides about it. If you want to eat some food, if it is not palatable, then you don't want to eat that food. It has to be palatable. Then a thought also. A thought has to be palatable. If it is not palatable, you are not going to have it. So the deciding factor is the tongue. The root of the tongue goes up to the Vishuddhi chakra, which controls your ego and superego, or you can say that the tongue is reflected in superego and ego in a way. Through your tongue, when you speak, one can make out whether you are in the realm of ego or superego. She expresses, she decides. But if you understand her, then you know how to handle her. She is your friend. And Saraswati herself resides in your tongue. If you know how to handle your tongue, then Sahaja Yoga can rise very high up. Because when others meet you as Sahaja Yogis, they also see how the way you talk, the way you eat, the way the things are palatable to you. It is the tongue that decides. If you are really very much evolved, you will be amazed that if you eat some food somewhere, immediately the tongue will immediately throw it out. It won't have it if it is something wrong. If some prasad so-called is given to you, which is given by some wrong type of man, immediately your tongue will throw it out. It won't be able to take it in. And even if you take some or other force down in the stomach, still the tongue will inform the brain that throw it out. And the brain will inform the stomach that throw it out. It will be unpalatable. So the action of Vishnu in the stomach up to the action of Sri Krishna, the same personality, is all judged by your tongue. So you must know how pure, holy your tongue should be. That when you take the name of your mother with this tongue, you must know it has to be the holiest of holy. It is very important how you use your tongue. Those who talk very bluntly are just the same. Those who talk very sweetly to get something out of you. is the intention. As I have told you, it controls ego and superego. Even if Sahaj Yogi understand that the witness is also here at the Vishuddhi Chakra. So your witnessing power will increase and decrease according to your tongue. Of course, it controls 16 subplexes. It also controls the muscles of the eyes. It controls all the muscles. It controls the palate. It controls the teeth. It controls the ears. But ears, you hear something, you cannot control it. Tongue you can, because that is the thing which releases, which goes out. With the ear you cannot give anything to others. That is just one way. This is double way thing. You take in something and also you can throw out something. It has a double purpose. It is a very important organ, and that's why we have to look after our tongue. When the Kundalini is rising, that means one thing is there, that your attention has become subtle, from gross to subtle. But it has to become subtler and subtlest, and then it has to go beyond that. By becoming subtle, only it comes up through the Agya, because Agya is just like a hole in a needle. So it penetrates through that with the subtleness. Because of that subtleness, your attention sees everything but in a subtle form. Now this is a new experience for you. That's why you do not recognize what is that. In a group of Sahaj Yogis, you can witness these things very carefully and clearly. There is one person whose eyes are roving still around. He's a Sahaj Yogi. He's sitting down, he's looking here, looking there, looking that side, who is coming, who is going. Of course, this person is still in the gross state, you can say. Though he's got his attention up here, by Mataji is pulling it out, you see, and hanging on to it. But still the person himself is still dragging outside into the growth. So don't bother about that. But even the person who is now, say, attentive, we can say attentive, because you see, words are not so precise. Even if you notice such a person, you will find his two forces in a very subtle way are acting. One is his subtle ego, another is a subtle super. When you become subtle, suddenly you get also powers of the subtle. Let us see the ego side of it. You start feeling inside yourself in a very subtle way that you do not recognize that it is ego. It is too subtle to be recognized. That you have got powers now to cure. You start feeling that now you have powers to raise the Kundalini. See how it goes down sedimenting into you. Then you start feeling you have powers to express yourself. Because you think you have learned Sahaja Yoga, and now you know the essence of it, and you can talk about it. This subtle ego develops into you. And the fourth type of subtle ego develops when you see the other person's super ego is developing. That is the most dangerous. It so happens that some people whose super ego develops now because they have had previous gurus, previous problems, you see, the way they have been following religion, some mistakes and all that. Because of their mistakes, their super ego develops. You see something happening to them. Say Mr. X is Y. That a superego is coming on to him, some negativity is flowing into him. So his ego starts developing against that force in a subtle way. Now he calls it a positive force. It is a positive force, no doubt. But he overcrosses it. When he overcrosses that side, he tries to push the superego another person. He flips over. He thinks he's doing the right thing. Of course, he is doing in a way, but to a point. And then he becomes very hot-tempered. He goes on passing remarks about others. He says harsh things. That's how the subtlest point starts. To a point is all right. To a point, because in this I would say Ganesh and Jesus should be treated as the judging points. Christ did not mind when he was crucified. Not only that, but he asked for forgiveness for all those. But if his mother was even touched by somebody, he would have taken out his 11 Rudras and killed them. That's the point. When it comes to your mother, then of course, your ego and superego both have a meaning. But beyond that, if it's not directed at every Sahaja Yogi, then you don't know where to have the balance. For example, then such people, anything done to them also they identify themselves with mother and they think, no, no, he has said it to me, that means it is to mother also. It is not. You must know where you are criticized and where your mother is criticized. These are two things. That's why I said judging point is Christ. When he was crucified, he accepted it, though he was so much one with his mother. But still he could strike that line. When you are crucified, you are not to cry. But if anybody says anything against the mother, then of course. Now try to understand yourself. Now you are watching yourself. Whatever I am saying, you are watching yourself. It is for your good. That is how you find somewhere a person who gets a superego invasion. First of all, superego invasion is very, very deep and subtle. It's extremely deep. It comes into you in such a manner that you do not understand it. The other person who is very positive, so-called, will think that that person has got a negativity. But he won't know that he is overcrossing his positivity towards negativity itself, because once you cross this line, you go to this side. Once you cross this line, you go to this side. So immediately you are becoming negative once you cross this point. And it's the Sahasrara, is the Brahmarandra. Beyond the Brahmarandra, if you are pushing down, then you are crossing to the other side. You are playing into hands of other people. Now you must judge yourself and see, now, hello Mr. X, how are you behaving now? Immediately become a witness. You see witness of yourself. Now how the superego and ego, you see sometimes in some people, sometimes the ego presses the superego and the superego presses the ego. I've seen it. They don't know whether they are egoistical or whether they are dominated. They really do not know. They cannot decide. Because it's such a going on, wobbling all the time. That's why I say better. You must sit down, settle down. See for yourself. Am I settled? Watch within yourself. Even you can feel the force. Actually, you can feel the force moving from this side to this side. You'll feel the force moving from this side to this side. Try to bring it in the center. Now, ego and superego, when they go on like that, you can say wobble one to another. It happens like this. At one moment, you start feeling dejected, frustrated. Nonsense. Yeah. The other moment, you sit on yourself. Sit on others. You ask others to get out. This is bad. I didn't like that man. That fellow came. That fellow caught me. That thing happened. This thing happened. Two extremes you move to. That's not the way to Sahaja Yoga. Sahaja Yoga. Sahaja means that you are a witness. Sahaja. It has double meaning. Sahaja is normally used for a word which is simple. You are in a Sahaj method. Means you are a witness. You watch it. Look at these trees. They are just witnessing. They are not saying anything. They are just there. It is to be. It is just to be at this point. Are we that? Every movement dealing with anything, then you will not have any organizational problems. You have organizational problems because you are not a witness. You will find two types of people. One who will say, I am suffering too much. The others will say, no, not me. Then they interchange also. See, their attitudes interchange. You can mix them. But you can just know where to stop it. You become a witness, silent. After talking for 1 minute, you just become silent. That's the best way. I think I can say a practical way. Is for your tongue is to be silent. As far as possible to be silent and be watching. But some people are silent and brooding. That's the worst thing that you are doing. No, silent and watching. Neither brooding, not planning how to hurt others. And then suddenly a sentence will come out which will be so filthy, so cutting, so horrid, so full of venom that you think from where it has come, oh God. Such silence is absolutely useless. It should be like a river flowing. The river has its own depth and on top it is flowing. It's just 1 mile. That kind of a silence one should have. Not a forced one, but a silence of a witness. Even such a person is talking inside the flow of the silence. You are one with that silence which is filling you up all the time. And you can witness that in every leaf, in every movement of the leaf, you see the silence. They do not speak, but they manifest. In the same way, you do not speak, you manifest. Of course, human beings are higher than them because they speak. But if speech becomes a burden, a problem, a cutting instrument, it is better not to speak. Another thing a Sahaj Yogi must know that eyes are very important for Sahaj Yoga. When the Kundalini rises, then the dilatation of the pupil takes place because you have seen the children how their eyes are dilated, just gaping at everything. What is happening? Just gaping. Silence, the complete. Silent seeing goes on through the eyes. And that's why eyes are very important. You must learn to fix your eyes within yourself, in your heart. Humble down in your heart. Fix your eyes in your heart. I say that way, but I don't know if you can do it. I don't know if you can do it, but if you could do it, that's a very good way of doing things. Looking at everyone, gazing at everyone, seeing this, seeing that, is a very bad exercise for your eyes. It's a very bad habit. Try to keep your eyes low on the earth, Mother Earth, watching the lower part of the body than the face. Because face, if you are made that way, that you can watch the face is alright, but you are not yet made. Best thing is to see to the feet. And your eyes will touch their gross sense, feet, from where the sensation of vibrations go up, upward, and the Kundalini rises better. Actually, those who suffer from low Kundalini rising, if they could rub oil on their feet and wash their feet, it's a very good thing. That's why Christ washed the feet of his disciples. I wish I could do that if you allow me and permit. Because the whole grossness is in the feet. And if you touch somebody with your eyes, realize people I'm saying, their feet, most of their grossness will disappear. And you won't have that much problem with them. That's why Christ washed the feet of his disciples. You also wash your feet and keep them clean so that the grossness drops out. I have explained in brief way, but if you want to ask me questions, ask. Because still I find that the Sahaj Yogis are not rising as fast as they could. Because the bringing Kundalini up to this and up to this is possible for me. But taking it back into your gross being is your own job, which you have to do. In Marathi, as they say it, Adi Kalasamagapaya. I have built the top, the dome for you, and the dome is now to be supported by you. I have taken you to the dome. But you cannot bring it down because either you are frustrated with yourself. By being frustrated, what are you going to gain? Or else you are frustrated with others. Just be silent and be witnessing. As Sai Baba has said, Saburi, patience. It comes.
Seems like the talk ends there on Amrita, so we'll just continue with meditation for a while.
for one more song, which is Jitananda Rupa, which is by Adi Shankaracharya, which is Sanskrit 14.
Chidanandarupaha Shivoham Shivoham Chidanandarupaha Shivoham 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 Satchidanandam 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 Satchidanandam Satchidanandam.
Sing the mantra. Shri Mahalakshmi Saraswati Shri Shri Saksha Shri Adi Shakti Shri Devi Saksha Shri Adi Saksha Shri Sahasra Swami Moksha Pranayani Shri Nirmala Devi Shri Devi Shri Nirmala Shri Hari Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devi Ki Jai. So collectively we can namaskar, raise up and eat.
So we are going to put some music on. It's a concert, sitar recital in front of Shrimati from a few years ago. And please enjoy and continue to meditate if you would like to. We'll play for a few more moments. And thank you very much for joining us, and have a lovely, blissful rest of the week ahead. Jai Shrimati.
Develop the rag slowly without percussion. Thereafter, I shall play two compositions set to a rhythmic cycle of 16 beats, one slow followed by a faster one, both set to this rhythmic cycle of 16 beats called Teen Tal. अच्छा अच्छा
Apologies, the music is lovely, but I understand it's a bit late. It's from 1986. If anybody's interested to listen to it afterwards, it's Buddha Mukherjee. He's a sitar player, and the concert is from 1986. So if you would like to, please do listen to it afterwards. Hey, Shravati, have a lovely evening ahead.